In addition to the last video about console controllers, I found XBMC to be unique in how it works. It's not difficult to make a keymap file, there's just next to no information about how to do it. Here are some notes I found particularly important. The keymap files use the HTML markup language as the basis for the file. You need to be able to ID your controller for the keymap to work. There are a number of keymaps already made that are installed along with XBMC that can be referenced. I discovered that the keymap uses the markup language due to the fact that I've been messing around with front page since elementary school and saw the similarities. However, despite how complex HTML can be, the HTML codes required to make a XBMC keymap to work are not all that difficult to figure out. A gamepad is divided up into what each component does: the D-pad or hat, the analog sticks, and the buttons. As for whether or not the components get identified the right way, that will depend on the driver you install to utilize the adapter. You create a command by adding a tag. We'll use this as an example. Button signifies that you are calling a button function on your gamepad. You need it to open and close the tag to signify it as a command. ID equals 1 is the identification number by which the gamepad identifies that particular component. Triangle represents whatever command you assign to this tag, be it play, stop, rewind, or whatever you decide to assign to this component. There are additional functions you can add to your tag depending on the component you are assigning a command to. Now, in order for XBMC to use your keymap with your controller, you need to identify your controller. Fortunately, XBMC has a means by which you can do this: debug logging. You just go to System, Debugging, and enable debug logging. It does mean sifting through a debug log just to find a single line, but that's what the search function is for. Once you do that, restart XBMC and it will load up the peripherals connected to your computer. White text will appear showing you where the debug file will be located. Once you find it, open it with Notepad or WordPad and start searching for the following code. I suggest looking for the code in pieces instead of looking for strings. Once you do, whatever it says after enable joystick is the ID of your controller. Add that to the corresponding position in your keymap and your keymap should work. At this point, you have a keymap that is ready to be filled in. Use the additional keymaps in your keymap folder for reference as to what XBMC will refer to each component as. You'll have to play with this so as to get the maximum functionality out of your controller.